Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about Hydra, and we're going to talk about a few things that I kind of realized when it comes to my Hydra team, right? So you see that I'm already doing the run, and I wanted to kind of do this video this way around, right? I wanted to just have it while the run is going, just to come up here and pretty much jump in, start showing you the team, and pretty much explain the things that I have realized that this is, you know what, you might be the owner of Teox or some other champions that can do some really good damage like that, and you might not be realizing something, right? And at least for Teox, in my case specifically, I did realize the fact that I should not focus getting other people for damage, right? So far I kept trying to bring in the team with Teox. I tried to bring people like, Wallmaster or Thorian. He brings block buffs, but he also brings some damage. Then I tried to bring some Wukong for block buffs. Then I tried this and tried that. So pretty much I've been looking at this wrong all along, right? I've been looking at this wrong. Again, this is, I'm not 100% sure how many other champions can work that way. Maybe Michinaki could be somebody similar in a team with like Lady Mikage. It could be the same, or, any other champion that does a ton of damage like you. So pretty much what I'm talking about is the principle of not focusing on bringing more damage for this specific team, but trying to boost the damage of Teox himself as much as I actually can, right? Same principle works if you've kind of checked the video and tried to understand the way that the teams with Tranda work. It's pretty much the same, right? Those whole teams are all about Tranda doing that A2 and her doing as much damage as possible with that A2 that does obscene numbers of damage, right? And the way that that's achieved is through boosting Tranda as much as you can with, like, the Shuzens, the Finas, the Gartak that gets more damage boosted, protection sets, so that's kind of like the exact way that I said, let me try and give it a shot with this one. Again, it's not perfect, it's still a work in progress, I'm still testing it out, but pretty much so far this team is my new personal record, right? That's my new personal record, at least when it comes to the non-cheese teams, right? My record is 4 billion, but that's with the Wix for cheese teams. I personally hate cheese teams, right? I've said in the past, I'm saying it again, I wish they would remove them as soon as possible, but same, even with Tranda, I'm not gonna lie, even the Tranda ones, I wish they would do some change, because it's, again, it kind of the cheese teams take the fun away from experimenting more in the game. But that's just my opinion. We're not going to talk about that more. But pretty much, again, what I'm focused on is, again, I'm trying to push as much damage as I can into Teox, and that's gonna be through, having 3 other lizardmen alongside him, having lots of other champions that boost the damage, bring increased attack, bring increased crit damage, by bringing people like Firol Barkhorn, right? He brings that passive that if you have 4 or more buffs on yourself, you do 20% more damage. And also through the protection sets, right? That's what I'm also going to show you, because that's something that I believe has a massive impact, right? It has a massive impact, even though you might look at it and might be like, yeah, it doesn't really sound like a lot, but it actually is, right? It actually is. And that's just the thing now, that I'm going to have to look like, what else can I change, or what else can I bring they can make this one be even better. Because right now the best that I had was like 1.2 billion or something like that, right? This one looks like, considering I just put the champions in the builds that I had them, I'm getting to that 1.3 billion, right? And it's full auto, so that's the beauty of it. Obviously the MVP of this team is Legate Teox, right? It's all about his damage potential. It's all about his basically the bonus that he gets as the faction unity. The reason why I keep seeing like Legate Teox in teams like this is because he has that amazing I guess bonus from the faction unity on the A3, where he does up to 100% more damage for each debuffs on the target with that A3, right? With that AoE plus, he hits twice if there are debuffs out there. One thing that I want to call out, and I've seen a lot of people, honestly, I've seen even content creators, maybe I guess it does work for them, but I've seen lots of people making teams for Hydra, but then just having Teox and 1 more Lizardman, or just having Teox on his own. I feel like that's a waste. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's just my opinion. But I see people like, I think it was even Hell Hades that had that. I think maybe even Scratch. Like, I'm not trying to, call out content creators. I'm just trying to kind of like make you all aware that from my point of view at least, if you're trying to make the best damage possible for your Hydra teams and you're not going for the cheese teams, but you're trying to use somebody like a Teox, make sure to bring 3 other lizardmen alongside, right? Because that's how you get the maximum potential out of him. Otherwise, just don't put him in a team where you have some other crazy damage dealers, right? That's what I would say, right? Just make a team specifically with Teox, and then everything else make different teams, because you're pretty much losing on a ton of damage. Again, this is Nightmare Hydra, right? This is Nightmare Hydra. This is the damage that I'm doing. It's a full auto team, right? I don't click anything. Team goes from the beginning and just goes full auto all the way, and I do this amount of damage, right? I don't have him 6-star awakened. I don't have insane god tier gear on him, right? Like maybe some other higher level Krakens or Cthulhu's have, but still, the power of Teox is just insane, the damage that he brings. He's definitely hands down one of my favorite champions out there right now, and just love playing with him. Okay, this looks scary. This looks like he's almost gonna die. So I guess that's the only tricky thing, or the only scary thing in this team that can happen, is if Sulfurion gets what's it called? What's the debuff? Pain Link? Yeah, the Pain Link from Land of Suffering goes on him, and then Legate Teox just goes crazy. Then yeah, my revival could die, and that could be an issue. However, honestly, as much as for how long I've run this team, I've never seen it fail, right? I've not seen it fail. We're coming to the end. I hope Teox gets to under A3 just for the sake of finishing it. Boom, boom. Okay, so that's 1.35 billion. I'm getting close to my goal, right? My goal was to get to 1.5 billion damage full auto with Legate Teox. But still, I'm not that far away, right? It's like what, 0.15 billion damage that I need to get, and quite sure I can get there. And as you can see, the MVP of this fight, Teox, 843 million damage. Then the next one's Krisk with 200, and that's because he has the, what's it called? He has the curse set, right? He's the one that places Hex out there. Then we have Dracomorph with 204, that's pretty respectable. And obviously Draco does a lot of damage because Teox joins in with the A1 a lot, right? And then everybody else no damage. Just Sulfurion a little bit with those HP buttons. So let me just quickly show a little bit what I was talking about, the way that the way that I'm trying to focus that damage. When it comes to the builds, he's pretty decently built, but still I can get better. I have the bonuses from the Hydra and whatnot, but pretty much the best way to do it, this was something that somebody pointed out in my video. I don't remember the name. I've already mentioned in a previous video, but I want to say again. Teox is all about this A3, right? AoE hit before attacking places increased attack, increased crit damage, places an extra hit on enemies under any debuffs, right? And this one goes up to 100%. So if there's 5 debuffs, there's gonna be a ton of damage, okay? And this is what I'm talking about, why you need 3 other faction allies. That's why I have Sulfurion, Krisk, and Dracomorph in the team alongside him. Also, what's really fun with him is the two-team faction unity passive is the fact that if there's HP buttons out there, he takes 50% less damage and all allies take 20% less damage. That's why you see I don't have in this team any increased defense. I don't have like, apart from like Chris that puts on himself with the A3, but I don't have AoE increased defense. I don't have AoE strength, right? The usual survivability stats, and it still works. Now let's have a look at the builds that I have actually on these people. So when we're talking about Lady Mikage, she brings 2 buffs, increased attack, increased crit damage, and also she brings a shield, places a shield buff equal to 10% of this champion's max HP on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. This one's at random, it cannot guarantee on it, but you can guarantee the 2 buffs, plus the increase in duration of buffs, debuffs, all of that. The 8 was amazing. So because she brings 2 unique buffs, guess what? She's in 9-piece protection, and that's 75% chance to place a protected buff, but also allies deal 5% more damage per each buff placed by the wearer. So what Lady Mikage provides to my Teox is 10% extra damage. Now if we move over to, let me see the next one, who's the next one? Nothing for Sulfurion. Okay, next one's gonna be Firol, okay? If we move over to Firol, guess what? Firol has same thing, so he's gonna bring me that 9-piece protection bonus as well, and that's gonna be, because he brings 2 buffs, another 10% extra damage. That's 20% more damage. Not only that, Firol the Barcon has an amazing passive that says this over here. If an ally is under 4 or more buffs, also increases their damage dealt by 20%. So pretty much I dropped a damage dealer and I brought 30%, right? 20 from here and then 10 from the protection. That's 30% more damage boost to everybody else, especially Teox, because that's the MVP, just by having him in the team. And the cool thing is, he also brings me the perfect veil. He also brings me the block buffs, decrease accuracy. You know, he's just an amazing champion overall. Then the next one that we have with that can boost the damage, but doesn't because of the way that I have it built now, is Krisk, right? The next thing that I want to try and see is if I drop the curse set from Krisk, I don't know who else I can bring it on. Maybe I try and somebody like a Draco, just ignore Draco Morse's damage. I could try and bring Krisk with another 9-piece protection, because that would be another 10% damage because he brings AoE increased speed and he brings the ally protection that's AoE. So he would bring another 10% damage for everybody else in the team, especially Teox, right? This team is all about boosting Teox as much as possible. So I guess that the best thing that I could do over here, like I said, would be get somebody like a Draco Morph. Maybe I try and get Draco in Cursed, because he does hit with this one at random. He doesn't hit with the A3, but he does hit with the A2 4 times at random. He might be a good Curse candidate. Otherwise, there's nobody else in here that I see could be a good champion to put Hex, because, well, Sulfurion, he only places. He doesn't hit with the A2, he just hits with the A1, so he's not the best. Even with Sulfurion, I was wrong. The first time I built him in Merciless. Well, 6 pieces Merciless is pretty much useless because he only hits on the A1, right? So, doesn't really help. That's why I went with what's it called? That's why I went with a Reflex instead. Maybe I should go Reflex and 4 pieces of Merciless, because 4-piece Merciless gives us another chance to decrease the cooldown whenever he does the A1. That might work, that might not, I'm not 100% sure. One thing I wanted to check though is the Hex, the Curse set, 50% chance to place Hex debuff for 2 times. I'm curious how this one works. Maybe somebody tested it. Does this work only on hit, or it works like, for example, Sulfuria, if I place it? If I place like the HP one, I think it's only on hit. But what do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. What suggestions would you have to try and make me boost this team to the next level, if you have some ideas? One other thing that I was thinking is like, okay, I do have Lady Mikage. She brings increased attack and increased crit damage, but because of the way that I'm focusing it, I don't really care about, you know, she's okay because she brings increased attack, but she only brings that to Teox and Draco. Everyone else doesn't really matter. They don't do as much damage. So I'm thinking one other thing that I could do is I could instead maybe bring Siphi. Siphi brings increase, what's it called? Block debuffs, increase defense, and increase speed, and I have already 9-piece protection as well, right? She could be good with that, but I lose the ally attack from Lady Mikage. That's the tricky thing though. I lose the ally attack from Lady Mikage. Maybe who's another ally attacker I could bring? Right, because that's something, it's always, again, I'm trying to boost the damage as much as I can to Teox. So the other one that could work would be Lona Tharel, but I already use him in my Fire Knight team. He brings increased crit damage only as a unique buff. So he also brings shields, actually. He also brings shields, but I also have Sulfurion that brings shields. Maybe I put Sulfurion on IP protection because that shields another 5%. I don't know, there's so many other things that can be done. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Or, oh wait, did I just find the right one? Did I just find the right one? Increased crit rate and increased attack, right? Lanakis the Chosen. She also can get an extra turn. She also increases the ratio of buffs, same way as Lady Mikage. It's just a problem, she only teams up with 3 other allies. Also gives turn meter boost on this one. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about this? What are you aware of this type of principle? Like I said, trying to boost one champion's damage as much as possible, like I'm trying to do with Teox, right? Through protection sets, through passives, through, you know, all of the other quirky stuff. Let me know, because I'm really curious about this, and I'm happy that I kind of found this out, and I'm trying to get to that 1.5 billion. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at this for today. I hope you enjoyed this type of video, right? It's more of a, I guess, a little bit of a deep dive into how you can maximize your damage for Hydra when you have certain champions. Again, this kind of principle, I'm sure, can work with somebody like a Michinaki, right? If you have in the team Michinaki with what's her name, with Lady Mikage that makes him attack a lot, it kind of gives you, you know, the option of trying to get it as much as possible. Let me show you what I mean by Michinaki being able to do something like this. Look at his damage when I did the team with Thor. It's like you can boost his damage higher and higher and higher. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.